moment. So the work that I'm doing, we're looking at creating proactive and preventative interventions for black mental health within the university, and developing the support services that they have at the moment, because it wasn't initially created with black people in mind, right? So we're co-creating resources for our black students, co-creating opportunities and creating communities with our black students to get them to facilitate a conversation around mental health with each other and to make sure that the help seeking services are appropriate for our students. So that's the job I'm doing at the moment.
When we hang out those cleats and everyone's done with you, you're like...
You don't know where to go.
You're just, you know what I mean? You have...
A chunk of your life is just...
Yeah, that's gone.
Even if you do have a plan B, right?
Yeah.
I mean, trying to fill that void of
It's
boredom.
huge.
It's different.
And then no one talks about that.
It's tough. It really is.
I'm trying.
You are a role model, and being able to attack both at the level that you're doing right now, you know, you are an absolute example of what we are trying to do and trying to raise the awareness for other younger players to aspire to get to where you are literally today. We're back, man. We're back. This is Ballaz In Da Middle. Welcome back. And, you got yourself Stephen Hutchinson, a.k.a. Hutchie Hutch.
Raw Bledman, a.k.a. The Hidden Machine. I've got a special guest here today, but before that, I'd like you to hit up our social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and don't forget YouTube. And when you go onto YouTube, don't forget that notification button so you know when we upload the video. Hutch, what we got from you, man?
I'll tell you what I got for you. We've got a player that is a promising player, an impact player in the British game today. This player has gone to Europe and played in Europe. He's come back. He's played for GB. I'd like to introduce you all to Andy Owusu. What's up, Andy?
Thanks for having me, guys.
Give me a pound, man.
Yeah, thanks for having
Bless,
me.
bro. Some of that.
How you doing, Andy?
I'm blessed. I'm a very good special day today as well. So.
It sure is. It sure is.
Yes,
and I know you probably are just anxious
to play, innit?
Yeah.
gassed and ready to go, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, last time I played Manchester actually was with the Olympians in
Right.
2019?
Yeah.
was in the Div 1 final.
You're talking about the Div 1 final,
That was
yeah.
the last time I played those guys. So it's,
How did you do in that game, though?
I did some stuff.
Okay.
I did some stuff.
Okay.
It took a while to get there, but once I got going, I was going.
He sure did. He sure did, because
I did some
I was assistant OC and running back
At the
coach
time?
at the time. Yeah,
Okay,
so
sweet.
yeah, this man in my stable. What are you talking about?
All right. You're just representing the Hutchie Hutch. All right.
Oh, he
all
was,
right.
man, and he's right. He took a little bit of time to get himself warm, but once he did, believe me, he started
Wait,
toting
that's
the
like,
rock.
you said 2019, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so we're in 2022. So
No, that was a bit. It could have been a bit earlier than
think,
that.
yeah, probably
It was-
2018.
It was probably 2017 or 2018.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
of those years.
So there's no warming up now. You know what you
Yeah,
got to.
yeah.
You understand?
I think it's one of those things to learn
Yeah.
how the game works for me and
Yeah.
how the role that I play in the game and
No
what I
doubt,
need to do to
no
get
doubt.
myself started. So comes
Yeah.
with experience.
So we haven't actually mentioned it, but today is the Britball final today. And it's against the Titans, Manchester Titans,
Yep.
against the London Warriors. So, Andy's playing in that game. And, when we finish here, we're going to take ourselves down there. And, we can see how that goes.
Support them, man. You know what I mean? Support the game because that's what we're here for.
No doubt. But, Andy, man, I'm gonna kick off, man. I want to get right up into the middle of you and just find out.
Yeah.
Andy, what drew you to American football? Because in this country, man, it's not one of the national sports, as you know as well as I do. But we just like to understand. You bypass soccer, you bypass basketball, cricket, rugby, and somehow American football found you, or you found American football, right? So tell us how that engagement and marriage actually started and got you to where you are.
Yeah, of course. Like you mentioned, it's not something I sort of picked up, like going. I saw football on TV and movies. That's how I knew football when I was younger. Everyone knows like the QB cadences and, you know, Blue 42. That's the sort of stuff. I got excited when I used to watch like TV shows and I see them. I was like, oh, that's really hard. Yeah. But how it started was when I was playing rugby, actually, in sixth form for Southwark Tigers. So that's where I live. I live in the borough of Southwark in southeast London. And then after one of the games, one of my friends told me to come to football practice in Peckham for the South London Renegades. That's where he played. And then I was like, really? After a game? So anyway, picked up the stuff. We had our cleats already, so we pulled up to practice and we met Coach Steve, who's still there now, actually. And the first thing was, what are you good at? What's the question he asked me? What are you good at? And I was like, I'm fast, you know. Back in the day, I was a lot smaller than this, you know, but I had those fast twitch. And when I played rugby, I played winger as well. So, you know, just on the edge, I was like, okay, cool. So he did a little evaluation, put the ball in my hand, and it just felt natural from that point. And 8-9 years later, I'm still in the game. I quit rugby the same week. Okay. My mum didn't want me to play either sport, to be fair, but she really hated American football. Like, she's seen people pile up. That's what she describes it as. And she doesn't want, you know, baby boy to get injured and all that kind of stuff.
I hear that. That's just been a protective parent right there.
Definitely.
You know, Victor
especially mums,
Victor said exactly the same thing, right?
Especially mums, man. They don't want there.
Yeah, she didn't want me playing rugby either, but I had to play football the first 2 years in secret. I had to hide it. Yeah.
You didn't tell her?
I didn't tell her I was playing. Only when I got to uni, she started figuring things out, because when I come back, I'd come back with all the kit and everything like that. But usually the team would give us kit. So when we go to practice, they had the kit there, and I'd come back and I'd be limping, and I had to like hide the injuries and the bruises. Right? Yeah, I got good at that after a while. But the thing that drew me to football instead of all the other sports, I'd say, is like the brotherhood. That's one of the things that, especially playing for South London Renegades, we were about 20 to 25 guys on a good day, 25 guys max. Yeah. So when we started, obviously we were all younger, had a lot more energy and all that kind of stuff. So we played both sides of the ball.
Man football.
So yeah, literally. And it's like going through that with the boys, and then when we pull up to a game, we go against like the Blitz or Kent or Warriors, and they got like 50 man up, pulled up, and then they were just there looking at each other like barely 18, 19, 20 of us. You can fit like in a car, let alone a bus. And we go there and actually we beat some of those teams, and like we come back to training and we'll be sweating, working each other, and it's just like, okay, like that process, that growth, and like the developing of like our friendship at the time as well. Spending that much time together, suffering together, working together, growing together. It's just, you can't find that in any other sport. Any other sport is very much like individualistic. It's about me and my achievements. But I realized quite early on that in the game, I can't do anything without the guy in front of me. I can't do anything, especially as a running back, without my line, without my receiver. Like, it's not something I can do by myself.
Exactly.
So once I bought into that, it never left me. The brother, and like it sort of developed as I grew up as well. Went to uni, there was a whole different level of brotherhood there, because, you know, you're mature now and you get freedom, so you choose who you hang out with, and inevitably you end up hanging up with the football boys, getting to know them a bit more on a different level. You're traveling, you're doing that, you're winning. It's just, it just sort of, it's been going on and on ever since. So that's what drew me towards football, the brotherhood.
Yeah, listen, we know what that's like. I mean, you know, that's what I struggle with after the game, but that's that brotherhood, especially like if you're back, you like hang out together. You know, same with the DBs. You know, the banter that we have with each other. But I understand that 100%. Let me ask you a quick question. So, what was the transition like from rugby to football?
It was harder in terms of the physical toll on the body. Yeah. So when I played rugby, yes, you're tackling people without like equipment, but because of that, you're also careful. Yeah. When I stepped on a football pitch, that was the first time I saw somebody run like head first without a care in the world and just, just lay into you just because they know they have that. Yeah. And you still feel it. Like, you have all the stuff. So like, I've never been hit as much or as hard as I was hit. So it was just like getting used to that and then delivering hits myself. That's
a bit of a huge statement right there. What are you saying? Are you saying that you got hit harder in American football.
Yeah.
Comparison to rugby.
Yeah, it's just because like, and how I rationalize it is, people realize that they have a certain level of protection, so it reduces the risk for them a little bit. So they're just that bit more carefree. So they know they can run into you full speed and just close the gap between you, or they know they can, do whatever you want. In rugby, you're not going to do that. Your head is going to be there, your shoulders there, skin on skin contact.
Yeah.
But in America, when people put that lid on, it's like they forget that they're actually human, and they just, you run into a wall. And most people would do. That's one of the hardest things, was like sort of transitioning and getting used to that, and especially delivering hits myself, and like knowing how to use my body and playing behind my pads and all that kind of stuff. I didn't do that in rugby. Rugby sort of try to get the guy down, mainly, and then it's like the whole other thing, and then popping the ball out and all that kind of stuff. But in football, when you line up and it's just you and the person in front of you, and you have to go head to head, it's different. It's different.
1-on-1.
It's different.
Last man standing.
Yeah, that's nice, bro.
So in your career, you mentioned 9 years.
Yeah, I think I'm 9 years now.
9 years. Can you pick your best game? Can you tell us about your best game where you were just on fire? Maybe you had to come from behind to win, or you felt like in that game that the game was on your shoulders, and you got the win, you got the W.
Funny enough, throughout my career, I've always sort of felt like the game was on my shoulders, and like all the leagues that I've been in. I think maybe because of my position, or because like the value I add to a team when I'm on there.
Yeah.
When the passing game isn't working, I'm usually like the RB1 on the team when I'm on there.
Yeah.
Outside of right now, because I just joined the team, but at uni, like when we go into a tough position, or we know there's a tough game coming, like I know it's going to be a long day for me. It's always been a long day for me. But I think one of the toughest games, or one of the most memorable games for me, would be at uni. In the final year, emotions were just high. So we've done 3 years of just winning back-to-back championships.
Right.
My uni team we were pretty sick.
Do you mind if you ask what team?
Coventry University Jets, so CU Jets, Coventry Uni Jets. Yeah.
Right.
They had a few players on there who are also in like the NFL pathway stuff. Some of them are playing in the ELF currently. Like we had a good solid group of guys in those 3 years, and it was coming to an end. And it's like people realize this could be it, because some people are leaving, some people are doing masters, but this group of players will never be the same again, right?
Yeah.
And the game wasn't going too well, and we're not used to losing. I think in like 3 years we lost to maybe about 5 games.
Wow. Okay.
So we're not used to all of that stuff, and what we're trying isn't working, and it's like it's on me now. And the coaches actually came up to me, like, this is on you now. I've had those conversations with coaches before. It's like, this, you're going to have to carry us. This is, go out there and do your thing. And at the time, I was cramping up. My body was letting me down. So I was fighting my body, fighting the emotions. And I had to like sort of persevere to get through. I'd do a crazy run, get 30, 40 yards, and I go down because I got a cramp, and they'll pull me off, massage me, and I get right back in. And the same thing over and over. Like in the last quarter, crazy. When we finished, actually, I was crying. I was crying when we won, because it was just like, it was such a battle.
Yeah.
And then for me, especially because it wasn't just the emotional aspect of it, it was the physical aspect of it. Usually, if you're hurting, in the game, you'd be advised to, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
But there was no game after that. That was the last game.
Yeah.
So
you're just trying to leave all of it on the field.
Leaving it.
All of
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
I was throwing up at some point. Like I had some of my friends come to watch, get to the sideline, like throw it up, and then stick the helmet back on, get right back in. It was just one of those games, and I'll always remember that. But we came out with the win. And
that reminds me when we used to run track back in the day.
Well, I've never thrown up though.
Well, I haven't even finished the sentence yet.
I knew you're going to talk about me throwing up.
The sentence yet.
I've never thrown up. Don't get me wrong. I used to be blowing out my ass without a doubt.
When we were back in the day, when we used to ball and pre-going to camp, we used to run track together. We used to live together. And Tony Allen put us through the mill. Put us through the mill, and with this program and Ro, when we first started,
I'm all or nothing. That's what my problem is.
We're like, Ro, look, you need to pace yourself, bro. Ro was just gone. This guy's a legit 4'3" stroke 4'2" guy, and he was just gone. And listen, after like the third one,
that's
man had his hands on his legs. He was just. But I mean, I get it. I clearly get it. This game is definitely an emotional game. I get the bit about the brotherhood bit too, because it's family. It's because of the things that we go through together. and I think it's hard for people to understand outside of this what that really, the how granular it
Definitely.
really close as it gets. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel you. I understand exactly what you mean on that, man.
Do you think on that day it was emotions that what made you start cramping up, and you knowing it was your last game?
Yeah, I think it was just a lot, and it got to a point where I didn't want to. I could feel the emotions coming up, but I didn't want to release it. So I was holding myself back, and it's like your body gets uncomfortable when you don't want to, express
Because
yourself
it's
and
not
all that
used to
kind
it,
of
not
stuff.
like
Yeah. So it was just like the pressure, the moment, like just everything combined, and yeah, I don't know. I was just fighting my body at the time, but when it was all over and the final whistle blew, like. It wasn't just me. Most of the team was all crying out there on the pitch because, like, we done something special.
Yeah,
The 3 years
yeah.
we've been together, had together, what we've developed, the players that come out of that program is just like, yeah,
And it was your last game.
It was the
together,
last
so
game.
That's why all emotions. He
it
started
was,
violin. Yeah, no, I feel I can relate to that without a doubt, bro. I mean, never got to that, but I know that day when I hung it up, I was like, yeah, this is it, bro. And walking away thinking, and we finished on a high as well. And it was,
Yeah.
we went on a
last
run,
6,
yeah,
we were back to back,
and it was like hanging it up. I was like, boy, am I ready? Like I said to when we spoke about this before, I was ready physically, because the way I played, the game has changed dramatically, since I played. So my body was ready, but mentally, nah, wasn't even there yet, bro. Weren't even there.
You
Not
didn't
at all.
realize you were
Yeah,
there
it didn't.
until you left.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
it was years, and I was still struggling years
You
down the
struggled
road.
to stay away.
Yeah. So I mean, I think I walked away, and I think that's what made it even worse. But I was looking for the brother. I was looking for that family, and trying to find that throughout the years was just madness. You know what I mean? So I understand, the emotion tying you up and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, so in life, right? Planning like your pathway in life, right? Starts from school. You go through junior school, you go through high school. You pick your subjects, and you plan to, go to higher education, further education. You graduate, and then you take that academic pathway, and that's the so-called route that we are taught to do in like the UK.
Yeah.
Right? But it's different in the States.
Yeah.
I mean, they do exactly the same thing, but what they do in the States is something that we don't do very well over here. Is if you've got the skill sets to do this, leverage your athletic ability to enhance your academic aspirations via scholarships.
Yeah.
Okay. And I would just like to ask you, with regards to the pathway that you took, I mean, as you were going through your journey, did you think about going down that route? Was there anyone like giving you any advice about trying to do it that way, with regards to getting a scholarship to playing in the States? And as of recent, actually doing the same thing here in the UK?
Unfortunately, no, we don't have that infrastructure at that level, at the junior team level, and even sometimes at senior. So when I did actually discover that you could do scholarships, it was too late. I was coming to the end of my bachelor's. I did try to do it for my master's to get an academic scholarship or sports scholarship rather, to the States to play for one of the unis there.
Yeah.
This was end of 2019, start of 2020. Started emailing some people, spoke to some coaches. People actually gave me an opportunity to review my film and actually have conversations with me. And then the pandemic hit. So, I was looking at some of the unis in LA. Because I have a cousin there, so it'd be easier for me because I have family there. And I had some positive conversations, and I just actually couldn't believe that they were actually taking time to respond to me and speak to me and actually be like, okay, cool, this is what we can offer, this and that. We have a partial, we have a full, we have this and that. Nobody told me about those kind of things prior to that. I had to go and search it out myself, and that was when I was proper embedded into football, and I started watching college football at the end of my uni career. And it's like, I wish people had made me aware. of those opportunities, and we have so many more now, like so many more opportunities, like the NFL Academy and all that kind of stuff there. And when that opened up, I was done with done with uni. But when that opened up, I was crying inside because I was like, I wish this was in my like sort of. I had this opportunity when I was going to that.
Bro, how do you think we feel?
Yeah,
I feel your pain on that. Yeah, that you weren't aware, but we completely and utterly get that because it's not advertised here. We haven't got the infrastructure for that, like how it is in the States. Like I said, in the States, that's your pathway.
Yeah.
But they don't even do it for the normal sport here. Football, soccer.
It's for any sport as such. But like Andy said, it has gotten far better now.
Definitely.
Far better now because I was speaking at an event in Brent for YBF. Was it Brent Youth Foundation?
Yeah.
And I was explaining to them there that my son, he's 16 now, he's just finished his GCSEs and
nice.
He's now going on to his A levels. And what he plans to do, he plans to get a scholarship to go and play soccer in the States.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So that's all kind of lined up for him.
Yeah.
But for us, and back prior, that wasn't there. And so what we're trying to do here in Ballaz In Da Middle, we're actually trying to raise the awareness of British American football, but also raise the awareness of these pathways that you can take to leverage your athletic ability. Because you know as well as I do, there's a hell of a load of athletes around. Roadmen.
Yeah.
Athletes, do you know what I mean? It's another pathway to get those guys off the road.
Yeah.
But they're talented as well, you know what I mean?
Of course, exactly. It could be basketball. It could be American football. It could be soccer.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, them roadmen don't know about it.
They don't know.
They don't know.
Of us.
And this is what we're trying to do. We're just trying to raise the awareness of other options, pathways, opportunities to get yourself out of the hood.
I mean, currently there are universities in the UK who are offering sports scholarships, and they're actually reaching out to people. Like I had a few reach out to me when I finished uni, finished my bachelor's. And they actually was like, yeah, this is what we can offer, and they're quite like lucrative things. Like they'll pay you to come, pay you to train, do this and that, give you like a place to stay and all that. A lot of people aren't aware. And universities, colleges and sixth forms don't push those aspects of avenues because they're just trying to push the academic side of it.
Yeah.
Do this, do that, GCSEs, A levels, and you get that. But those guys aren't helping to bridge that gap between those who are sort of not less fortunate, but in that demographic who are like maybe first generations or first in their family to go to universities, etc. Those are the people who could really benefit from those things, and it's just it's getting better now. But myself, I was quite lucky to be able to get a scholarship to university, but it wasn't a sports scholarship; it was an academic one. It was provided by the London Borough of Southwark, Southwark Scholarship, so they paid for my 3 years at uni for my undergrad.
Nice.
Which you had to apply for, go through like a panel.
You saved about 20 grand.
Yeah, 27.
And that's kind of like unheard of today because that's how it was back in the day when I was studying.
Yeah.
When Labour was in power.
Yeah. But that was a crazy opportunity to be extended and like to be successful in that program. There's less stress for me in the future because of student loans and all that kind of stuff. So I'm quite blessed in that respect. But definitely a lot more out there now.
Okay. So, as a running back, and my man was a running back first before he went to the dark side, right? What's your top three plays?
Top 3 plays. One of them was for GB. One of them was I think in the Manchester game we spoke about in Div 1, and the other was when I was abroad in Finland. So for the GB one, it wasn't a running play. I had a route. So I had a Texas route, which is just an angle route. And the play broke down, and luckily the QB was able to turn around and head to the sideline. And we were about maybe 20 yards just in the red zone. And I managed to just sort of improvise on the route, head to the right place, head to the pylon, and I just, QB managed to actually get it there. Great. And I had to dive for it, and I've never actually dived for it.
You put yourself out there.
So I was on the route, and I was like, okay, cool. This play's breaking down. We're going to have to just find space. And I looked over, and I identified that place. Okay, cool. If I could go there and get it to me on the right angle, we can make something happen. And then when the ball was in the air, I was like, shit. Oh, my God. Don't drop it. dove out there, stuck my hands out. Next thing I know, I'm in this like little, like a
Fetal
ball.
position.
I was like, oh yeah, great.
Did you wind yourself?
No, I didn't. I was fine. I was fine.
Because that does happen
Yeah,
sometimes.
considering you've never done it before.
I'd never done it, but
When you do it for the first time, trust me, you win yourself because you don't know how to do
Yeah.
it, to land.
And in that game, I hadn't had, because I was, that was my first game actually. I hadn't had many touches. I think maybe 3-4 snaps on the field, and out of that, I managed to grab that TD, and it was like quite a memorable moment in the game. And I was like, okay, I'm about that. Second one would be, I'll go to the Finnish one, which was when I was in Finland. We were playing one of the teams, and had an outside zone. Run
Outside
it.
zone, yeah?
Yeah. And had a zone, run it, and one of the linebackers actually came to try and meet me, and he just sort of made the effort to tackle a bit too early. And I ended up hurdling him, and I didn't think I had that in me. So I saw it coming. It was just so quick. Running. I see him, I was like, oh, cleared him straight. And then I kept on going, and someone tapped me from behind. But when it happened and I watched the film back, the crowd went crazy, and I was like, I can't believe I just did that.
Yeah, I get that. And sometimes there's stuff that you actually just do when you got the ball in your hands, when you're running the rock. You don't even realize you just do it. It's this instinct, right? It's that athletic ability that's kicking and allowing you to do that with your body, right? Yeah, I get it, man.
It was clean, it was smooth, and I landed it as well. I was like, oh man, this could have ended up a lot worse than it actually was. And once I realized that was in my arsenal, I've done that maybe 2-3 times now since that point. So it's it was great to have that moment. And then the one that I was talking about in regards to the Manchester game when we had it in Div 1 was just breaking a play for maybe 30-40 yards. At the time, was just sort of slow chugging along. We weren't able to get more than maybe five yards at a time, and then something happened.
Oh, well, 5 yards at a time, bro. That's
good.
Yeah.
Well, probably less than that.
Oh, okay.
Definitely less than that, but it just wasn't as productive as we were hoping in the run game. And then I broke one to the sideline and stiff arming people, jump cutting and all that kind of stuff, and it was just it looked really good on film. And everyone got excited after that. I think that's what sort of ignited the game, and then we ended up making an attempt to come back, but it was a bit too late in that game. But yeah, those would be my 3 plays.
Okay.
You said earlier about your mum not knowing you playing. In your we've had this, me and Hash had this conversation. What effect did it have on your family? And if you've got a partner, is this? It's obviously she going to be there for you playing the game without a doubt. But have you sat down and had this conversation with your partner? What's it done to your family? You playing this game.
Yeah. I don't have a partner at the moment, but I did have one when I was in uni, and it's a toll on everyone. To be fair, like when you come in and you're all mashed up and you can't move properly, you need a bit of assistance here and there, or you can't help your family in the most efficient way because there's a physical toll on your body. Yeah. Like helping my mum with the shopping. Sometimes it'll take twice as long as if she was just there by herself. Yeah. Because I'm probably limping or something like that. And she'll be the first to let me know. I think that camera might be down. She'll be the first to let me know that something is happening, or like help me out with this, and why are you doing that? You always come back injured. You always do that. Like, what do you gain from it? Like, even till this day, she even asks me like, what's the purpose of this? Why am I still going?
Right.
My dad, on the other hand, he's been very supportive of it. He just likes the fact that I didn't take away from my education was like his main thing. Yeah. So he just wanted to education first. Sorry. But as I was able to sort of manage to do that on the side without it sort of one of them dipping, and I've been successful in both ends of that, he's been quite happy with it. But it's just, my mum is mainly the worry thing. She doesn't watch my games. Like, she's scared to actually come to. Till this day, she hasn't been to any one of my games. I've been playing for quite a while.
Has she seen you on tape though?
Yeah, she's watched. She streamed one online. She streamed a few online, but I don't think she can bring herself to, because people get hurt in the game.
Yeah,
I've been in games where legs are gone, ankles gone, somebody's shoulder, arms. And I've been fortunate enough not to have any major. I I broke things here, tore things here and there, but it's like nothing crazy like that. And I don't think she could bring herself to watch that possibly happen to me. So I don't blame her. I don't blame her.
I get it completely. I mean, it's a generational thing for years where, in West Indian families and African families, they want you to succeed in education. That is
Number one.
number one.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be your plan A.
Yeah.
Okay, that's supposed to be your plan A. But if you can juggle them both and make them both your plan A,
Yeah.
yeah, study and ball, study and ball. Your athletic ability can potentially help get you on that property ladder. It can help make your life that bit easier, So when it gets to that point in that window in your life where you can't ball anymore,
Yeah.
you've now got your
Another
education
avenue.
to
Yeah.
fall back on and, go down that route. And so with regards to that, same thing with my family. Same thing that I got taken out of a high school. My dad took me out of a high school because I was playing soccer, I was playing basketball, I was playing cricket, I was running track,
Doing everything.
I was doing all of it, right? And he had to come up to school because I got into an incident, and then when he found out what the incident was, it's because I didn't have my tie on. He took me out of school and put me into an all-boys school. He goes, "You're just playing too much sports and you're going to go down the academics." And, in our first podcast, we went down the route, right? We went down the granular as to where that went.
Yeah.
But yeah, just listening to what you're saying, through the years, that ain't changed. You know what I mean? It's still the same thing. That's what our parents want for us. You know what I mean?
I mean, I totally understand because I think everyone has a journey, but it got to a point when I was maturing in my teenage years, and I realized where my parents are coming from and why they have such a drive to want us to succeed in education. They didn't have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
My parents, the highest level of education in my parents is secondary school for my dad, and I was probably year 9 or 10, and then they couldn't afford to keep him going.
Right.
My mom doesn't have any, so it was now
You're
they've
the
managed
first
to
generation.
Yeah.
managed to get us here. Their priorities get what we wasn't able to get, and they sacrificed a lot to be able to put us in the positions that we are at the moment. And I recognized that quite early on, and I was like, okay, cool. Because of that, I'm quite motivated to do well in both sides of football for myself, but then academics for my parents, and as a backup plan because I know this thing isn't forever.
Exactly.
Trust me.
It's all about planning for the future.
Planning for the
All
future.
about planning for the future. But I would like to get back into the middle of football. Okay. And I know as well. I know the fact that you've taken your football career to another level. You've been spotted by the CFL. You've been spotted by the NFL with regards to the IPP program, which is the International Player Pathway program.
Yeah.
And I also know that you have experienced both of those.
Yeah.
So obviously, you've got the T-shirt, you've got the mug, you've got the flag, and you can talk about those things.
Yeah.
But what I'd like to know is, and from my understanding, there's the possibility of another opportunity down the line, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what are the things that you took away from those camps? And what things did you use to improve yourself so you are more attractive this time round?
Guess what I took away would be that even though we all play football, within those camps specifically, they're looking for athletes who can do well in what they're testing for.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily looking for football players. They're looking for combine, people who can actually do well in the combine. That's one of the things, and maybe true, maybe not, but it's just my reality of it. Where in the pathway program, they have players who've never played football before, but they're just pure athletes from rugby, from basketball, from track and field, and all that kind of stuff. And they bring them, and then they're like, okay, cool, we're gonna test your measurables, and everyone's just trying to, So it's like recognizing that, okay, cool, to get to B, you need to first prep yourself to do well for what they're testing for, not necessarily to do well at football, but to do well at the test.
Yeah.
It's like when in class when you have a specific test coming, you prep for that, and then
You
go
revise
to the next
for it,
thing.
right?
Yeah,
It's all about
you know
the
what to
revision.
do. So that's one of the things I had to realize early on, because a lot of people will be like, "Oh, if I play football hard enough, I'll get the opportunity." Not necessarily. Just want to know that you're a good athlete. That's what they told me. Like base value, just an athlete. That's what they're looking for. So what I took away from that was what you need to do to make yourself a better athlete, to be more explosive, to be more stronger, how to prep, more importantly, who your competition is. And there are guys worldwide, like some people only see London, some people only see England, some people only see BAFA or whatever league they're playing in. Nah, the competition.
You've been exposed
the pool.
internationally, right?
The pool is bigger. There are people somewhere in a village in like New Zealand who will pull up in that combine, same as you, and they've done nothing but lift rocks like the whole flipping life. You know what I mean?
Did you hear that analogy? It's exactly what Vic said, right? In Africa, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they got So when I was in the pathway last year, they had 3 guys from Nigeria.
Yes.
They're all in the league right now.
They're all in the league.
All in the league right now. One of them's with the Chiefs, the other one's with the Giants, and the last one's with Arizona. All of them came straight from Nigeria last year.
Ain't that a beautiful thing?
They haven't traveled anywhere else. They just got the opportunity from the Osse's Academy. I forgot what it's called.
What, the international player?
No. So the Giants player, he's Nigerian. He's gone and opened an academy.
Owusu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to open an academy in Nigeria who are training those guys.
Right.
And that's where they got in from. So
I think that's what Vic was talking about.
Yeah, that's what
pick them up. And now they've gone straight into the league. So they know that we have pool of talent is global. And
Owusu ain't silly, man.
Remember,
he knows that, you know, the players, the athletes, they're naturally buck strong.
Yeah.
You know, and those guys are hungry. Do you get what I'm saying? Those guys are hungry. And not just in the African nations, I'm talking about internationally.
Global.
We are, I'm going to say this, and this is in my opinion, we are really hungry to succeed in the NFL.
Yeah.
Because the way I look at it, if I was born and raised in the States, I'd have been playing Pop Warner football.
Yeah.
I'd have been playing grassroots football.
Yeah.
I'd have been playing football in junior school, high school.
Yeah.
You get it? And, you know, even when if I got into like a Power 5 school or whatever, you know, some of those players getting paid under the table. That stuff's still going. So there's a lot of money around.
Yeah, definitely.
International players or players outside of the US aren't really privy to that. So a lot of the time, these guys play for the love of the game and for the passion of the game. That's why I say those players are more hungry. And I think it's a win-win. And I mentioned this before. I think it's a win-win situation for the NFL and for those players outside of the 50 states because, you know, these are players that you got, just imagine, 5 international players in comparison to 5 players that are coming up in the draft. It doesn't matter if they're going in the 6th round or 7th round, right? You know, those 5 players that you've got from international, they're going to be, they're going to be hungrier, right? And they're going to be, I feel, better for those teams simply because they're going to be cheaper too. They'll be able to be given the minimum wage.
Yeah.
The NFL's minimum wage.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Do you get it?
It's
exactly.
Crazy. I know the numbers they've signed
I personally
recently.
think it's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
But I mean, just going back into the middle of your experience now. I mean, I know that we've worked a little bit together, and I've assisted you where I can, and I just wanted you to share with everyone that, you know, how hard you've been working behind the scenes, because I know how hard you've been working behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And, you know, for someone to shave off 3/10 of their 40 in something like, 6 months?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's hunger right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us how you did it, man.
So just recognizing that you need to build from the bottom, and we don't have the infrastructure to do that. So in America, as you mentioned, they have these facilities. They have the coaches, the dietitians, the track, strength and conditioning, all that kind of stuff. We don't have that. We're just basically on our own. Like at uni, nobody ever told me to go gym or what to do in the gym or what to eat.
Seriously?
We just showed up and played.
Wow.
And like I'm pretty sure that's the same for a lot of players out there. But luckily enough, going through those experiences made me realize what I need to do to get to that level. Yeah. So who I was competing with and what they were doing, that's the same thing I need to do. So unfortunately, I have to fund it myself. I have to find my own way, but I have to join a track team. I have to do a specific gym workouts. Like most of the players that I knew, including myself, would just be doing any bodybuilder workouts we found on the internet, you know, and there's not
case, bro.
Yeah, and it's not tailored.
It's not tailored to being an explosive athlete.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not what it's about no more, though, either.
Yeah, so like it's just having those experiences and actually learning what I need to do to get myself in that position, and then having the drive to do it alone. Even though my friends might not be there at the time, the team might not be there at the time, coach might not be available at the time.
Yeah.
I still had to go out and find somewhere where I could put my head down and work. And I joined a track team. I had a gym routine tailored for me by a PT, and it's like just me going gym 3 times a week. It's not doing anything crazy. I know there's people out there who go 5, 6, 7 times thinking, yeah, but that's detrimental to the sport. I'm doing something more that's tailored to get me to be more explosive in my sport, to get me to be more successful in my role. And I've just been consistent with it, more so than I have ever been. And because I know what I need to do, I know what I need to achieve. So I shared my goals with my track team coach. Like, listen, the reason why I'm here is because I want to run a good 40. And then we sort of made a plan going forward with that, getting speed endurance in, running against track guys, and actually training against those guys, which is a whole different ball game. Speaking to my the PT and telling them this is what I want from my body. I want to be more explosive. I don't really care about bench pressing 200 kg or deadlifting 400-500.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? I just want to be able to go quickly and just reset and not injure myself while I'm doing it. And then just like all the things that I've learned along the way, incorporating it into my journey, but coming up to this and actually just putting work in. And it's not really about posting stuff on the gram or showing people that you're out here running around. And like, I've been doing it. I've been making the journey. I've made sacrifices to be able to do that. To the point where people in my house don't see me that often. We're all adults now. I've got 9 to 5, but after 5, 6, I have to go to track for 6 to 8, and I come back home at 9, 10, and then I have to get ready for the next day. And
you're grinding, man. You're putting in the time. You're putting in the work, and you got to do it. You got to do it in parallel. You have no choice.
We did, didn't it?
It's exactly the same path. That's exactly what we did.
I mean, you're slightly younger than us, but that's the same path we took.
Yeah.
Well, I had a family. I didn't have one at a time, but I understand that. You know what I mean? That sacrifice.
Yeah.
And that is hard. But respect to it that you're putting in the time now.
It's just unfortunate that I didn't know this is what I had to be doing a couple of years back. It's upsetting that it took me this long to realize it, and I had to realize it myself due to the opportunities and places that I've been and people that I've seen, and knowing who my competition is and how to get as good as them, if not better than. Yeah. If I knew this like way back when, I mean, there's only so much you can do. But
exactly.
If I knew this way back when,
I mean, that's why we said that's one of the reasons why we're creating this as well. Because the simple fact is, if that knowledge is out there for you 3-4 years ago,
different ball game.
I mean, you're going to get there eventually. But what I'm trying to say to you, if you imagine what kind of animal you'd be right now, you know what I mean?
Within the sport, yeah. Kudos to you, man. I'm glad that you've done that. I remember before you were carrying an injury. I mean, are you carrying any injuries now, or?
Name me one football player who isn't carrying any injuries. I have a few niggles here and there, but nothing major at the moment, thankfully. And I've learned how to sort of manage my body over the years as well, and do what's best to get me primed for the right moments, not to just keep me throughout the year.
See, you've been hanging around him. You use the word primed.
It's all part of the learning, isn't it? It's all part of the things I've picked up along the way, and it's like knowing how to take care of my body is one of them. Before I'd be playing and I'd get injured, and I'd go to physio or whatever, get it over and done with, and I wouldn't tend to it again. And then 5-6 months down the line, it'll come back, and it's why is it back? But it's like learning through experience and growing, and being around the correct people, and actually knowing how to take care of my body, and knowing how to work with my body and for my body, like knowing when my body's ready to go, let's go with it. When it's ready to take a break, all right, let's take a break. Don't fight through the break part.
That's good, bro.
I've had to get in tune with my system quite a bit now, and
you have to listen to your body, bro.
Yeah,
and you're finding that now, what I mean? Which is good, because when you're young, you just keep on grinding through, and like you said, that's when you pick up the injuries. You know what I mean? Because your body's saying, "Oh, hold on a minute." Just chill for a little bit.
Take a little time out.
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm gonna keep on going now. But that's good that you're getting there already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's good progress, man.
So there's thousands of players. We talked about different areas of the world here. There's thousands of players that want to play professional football, right? And as you've been going through your journey, you're realizing now how complex and difficult it is to make that switch, to get up into the middle of, getting a trial, much less getting a contract and playing the game. Yeah. So the good thing about it is you got the pinnacle, you got the NFL, you got the CFL, you got the XFL. I mean, is the USFL still around?
Still around.
So you got the USFL. So you've got you've got opportunities here to try and stick and play professional football. And let's face it, make some nice cheese here, make some money to start yourself off before your plan B kicks in. Okay. So I know right now you're ready, and I'm hoping that you get that call. Yeah. So you can showcase that, Andy Owusu is ready to take it to the next level. But, when that all happens, or if it doesn't happen, what does your plan B look like? From your academic perspective, where does that look like? I mean, what are you doing now?
I've been quite fortunate in like being at the top of my game in both aspects of life, both football and in the academic side. So I got my master's last year in clinical psychology. Nice. Thank you. My dad was very happy. Yeah, it's not.
No, I know.
It's one of those things where what helped me get through actually was football. The discipline that I learned from the sport and everything like that, applying it into
that same word keeps back and haunting us, boy. Discipline, right? Discipline. Okay.
Literally, like all the skills that I learned on the pitch can be applied anywhere off the pitch as well.
Right.
Just knowing how to transfer those skills. Getting my master's done, it was a hard journey. But I knew it was something I wanted to do, and I'm still not finished. I want to do a doctorate when I'm done. So I did my master's in clinical psychology.
Got it.
Did my bachelor's in psychology. I want to do a doctorate in clinical psychology. At the moment, I've taken sort of like a diversion on my academic career. I was offered a research position at the uni where I studied.
Nice.
And I'm now leading a research project
Good job, bro.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Respect to that. Because you've got work experience, you've got the academia behind you now, and you're balling, and it sounds like you're ready to take it to the next stage. I mean, you're in a good position right now.
Things are going well, and like I spoke to somebody recently, and one of the questions they asked me was like, "What are you gonna do when you get to the league and you have like an additional platform?" Because when you're in the league, the people put you up on a pedestal,
Yes.
And it was talking about how I'm going to promote what I'm doing at the moment. So the work that I'm doing, we're looking at creating proactive and preventative interventions for black mental health within the university, and developing the support services that they have at the moment, because it wasn't initially created with black people in mind, right? So we're co-creating resources for our black students, co-creating opportunities and creating communities with our black students to get them to facilitate a conversation around mental health with each other, and to make sure that the help seeking services are appropriate for our students. So that's the job I'm doing at the moment. And it's like, if I was to able to get on that larger platform, it would be the same thing, but just a louder echo,
Exactly.
Just be able to push that through to the mandem, push that through to the black community. So that's just my whole thing, like my psychology thing. I want to be a clinical psychologist as my plan B, and to mainly just give back to the community and actually notice that I hope to facilitate a transition within the black community and be able to get us to a place where we're able to express ourselves and deal with mental health and all that kind of stuff.
Respect
you
that,
are a role model.
I'm trying.
You are a role model, and being able to attack both at the level that you're doing right now, you are an absolute example of what we are trying to do, and trying to raise the awareness for other younger players to aspire to get to where you are literally today. Yeah, so you really need to take a look in the mirror and say, yeah, you're doing it, bro. No, you are actually doing it. You want to.
Get a tap on the back, bro.
So there's one bit of I want to give him one bit of advice, and I want you to give him a bit of advice too. Yeah. As and when you get there, right? As and when you get there, you need to be prepared. It doesn't take. It's not for long. It's very, very competitive. And if there's one thing bit of advice I want to give you, is if you don't know how to play special teams, you better learn how to play special teams soon. You need to expedite that shit real quick. Reason being, just play this scenario out. You get hooked onto the XFL for some, the XFL, the team in the XFL for example, or the NFL. You're not coming in at number 1.
Oh yeah,
and you're not coming in at number 3.
Yeah.
You feel me? You're probably coming in at number 6, or number 7, or and you're going to be classed as roster bait.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to make sure that you've got skills, that you are versatile. How versatile is Andy on that team? what can Andy do? Yeah, Andy can run the rock, but guess what? We've invested
got 6, 7 other guys.
We've invested, I don't know, maybe 100 million in the first 2 or 3 running backs ahead of you, right?
Yeah.
They've invested maybe millions you, which
Yeah.
is kind of chump change to them
Compared to
right?
what they're doing, yeah.
So it's all about the versatility. It's all about what can Andy do on the line. Can he kick step? Can he kick step and run downfield and make a tackle? Can he line up and, you know, when he's running down the field, has he got lane management? Does he hold his lane long enough before he needs to break off or whatever? You see where I'm going? Can this guy play gunner?
Yeah.
You know, what else can he bring to the table? So if there's a bit of advice that I give you, learn special teams like yesterday.
See, I smile when you say that, because one of the things I picked up throughout my my combine experiences is the value of special teams. And since then is what I've been working on quite a bit, and including proving how versatile I can be. So currently on the team that I'm on, I play 3 positions. I play running back, I play fullback, and I play tight end as well. And they moved me out to slot and everything like that. So I developed my route running quite a bit. So that's just to demonstrate my versatility on the field. And one of the main things that me and some of the boys who went to the combines actually spoke about was proving ourselves on special teams, because we know that's what they're looking for now.
100%.
We know that's where it's at.
That's how I stayed in the league for so long, bro.
Yeah.
That's how. tell him, bro.
So I'm like that. You know, I'm no word of a lie. I was absolute animal on special teams.
Yeah.
And you talk about versatility. I played wide out. What if they say, "Raw, you're going wide out this year"? Okay. Raw, you're back at DB. Cool.
Yeah.
I played corner, safety, free, strong. Don't matter. Anywhere in the secondary. They even put me at end.
Yeah.
In the game.
Oh, in one game, yeah.
And I got a sack.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So you know what I mean? That's just
Yeah.
You just have to, you do whatever it takes and be the best version of you, no matter what. They tell you, like, I'm the best gun in the world. You sit there, you try to learn all the little techniques to get off that line.
Yeah.
I double team. Listen, they would double team me.
They will double
and single team the other man.
It made no difference. It had
Bruh,
made
I didn't
no
care.
difference.
You just all you have to do. You're only going up against one man.
Yeah.
Only one man could block you at a time. So you try to beat him. Once you beat him,
that's it.
you can't try to fight the both of them.
Yeah.
The minute you try to
make yourself skinny,
yeah,
right?
the minute you try to fight both of them, they're gonna hem you up.
Yeah, they got you.
Just attack one, and that's it, bro. But yeah, you got to get on that special teams and be just break. Go on there, watch it, see where you could beat someone as a gunner or whatever. If you line up at gunner, if you line up in the backfield. Right, like you said, you stay in your lanes. Just follow the ball.
Yeah, and then I think that's the angle you really want to try and take to make the team.
Yeah.
And then once you make the team, guess what? Yeah, you be doing show team. Yeah, you be doing show team for the starting defense.
You go hard.
Hey,
don't worry about them. You go hard.
You go hard. You make them miss. Yeah, you make them miss.
Yeah.
Do you? And
be all. What's it? All team. All. Not all team. Yeah, all American on flipping in scout team, bro.
Yeah.
They hate that, but at the end of the day,
You're trying to prove something yourself.
I'm not here just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, right, even though the starting defense might hate that, you're giving them a good look.
Yeah.
You're giving them a good look. You know how many times they tried to shout me down, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I just tell them straight away, I said, look, I'm giving you a look. I'm working for you.
Exactly.
So buckle up and let's go.
Let's go.
There's no backing going to come out there and just run soft.
Just do soft.
Hell no. But anyway, that's my nugget to you, man. And I hope that this time, you take it further and you get that opportunity to hook onto a team, and then you go through that absolute crazy experience of being with a team.
Yeah.
In pre-season and going through that stuff, because I'll always say, playing in the NFL, it doesn't matter if it's NFL in the States or NFL in Europe or if it's the XFL, it's a different level of football.
Definitely.
Everyone around you
is that guy.
Everyone around you is that guy.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it just, for me, my experience whilst I was there, it just elevated my game because I was hungry and I wanted it. And because I was hungry and I wanted it, and I had all all those professional tools around me,
Yeah.
you
sorry.
could not do anything but, get better.
Just absorb everything.
Yeah.
But not only that, another thing is the playbooks are all the same, bro. Just understand that it might be worded different, but it's the same, but the same
Concepts.
Yeah, it's the same concept. They didn't teach us that. We've had to find out the hard way. If I could give that to anyone, I would always tell them that. You might know the Warriors playbook, for example. You go to another team, the same damn thing.
Same thing, is different name.
You just need to translate into what you know already, and then once you translate into what that playbook's done. You understand? But they didn't do that to us. We went in looking at it, I'm thinking, oh God, this is right. And then all of a sudden it clicked.
Yeah.
The expectation at that time, there wasn't the services around to work with non-American players to fast track them. It was I'm gonna say it was assumed that we knew, and because we didn't know, there was no no services in place to bridge that gap for us. They had to move on.
Yeah.
There was a show. They had to open those curtains and get the cameras rolling.
Yeah.
And I get it. And it's the business. Everyone from the cameraman to the physios to the head coach.
Guy.
It's the kit guy. It's a shop window for the playing back in the States.
Yeah.
So I kind of get that. Yeah.
That's one thing I picked up on when I was in Europe. So we don't tend to do that much over here, and even to this day they still don't do it. They have and this sort of developed over COVID. Now you have like Zoom or Microsoft Teams sessions where they do playbook sessions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that only came through because there was a lack of practice on the field, so they had to find another way to do it. So that's how the British game sort of evolved. But in Europe, when you go out to play abroad, they have specific sessions. They have classroom sessions for this. They have film sessions where you have to watch and study and learn the playbook and everything like that. And that's what's helped me pretty much when I sort of learned how to do that, and I did it to my Arsenal. It's helped me sort of absorb the game a bit more and maybe more comfortable when I jump into different teams. So like playing the positions that I do, I have to learn different sides of the playbook.
Yeah,
but realizing the concepts of what's going on made it easier for me to acclimatize to like the new team. And it just sort of added to the value, and where I'm now on the pitch almost maybe 60-70% of the time because I'm at different places all the time.
You understand the game
because I know what's going on. I'm able to like if we're doing the routes, the flood, the smash, all these concepts outside zone, toss is the same at any team, but it's called something different.
Exactly.
Right? And it's just one of those things.
You mentioned a back in the NFL, but there's one guy called Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
So Alvin at the Saints. He's just like
Swiss Army knife.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter where he is. He could be at tail. He could be at H. He can be in the slot. He's
out. Just
absolute dangerous player. And just summarizing, that's what I'm talking about with regards to special teams. Not on the offense, special teams, because that's where you're going to that's where you're going to kind of like give yourself the time. To obviously play special teams, but work your way up that depth chart.
I think it's got to a point where I just want to be on the field. I have that drive to just, doesn't matter where I am. I know if I'm on the field, I'm impacting the game at some point. If it's special teams, if I'm doing kickoff, if I'm doing kick return, all that kind of stuff, like I'm meant to be doing something. And if you're on the field, you're being watched, and that's how you gain your opportunities.
That's how you get film, right?
To get the understanding of this was happened literally over the last couple of years. Before that, I did my best to stay away from special teams, I'll be honest, because it's just like it was tiring. But now I sort of understand the value. I've had actually messaged coaches at GB to put me on special teams when we were doing the last couple of camps, because that's the film that I know they want. This is a film like what they want to actually see you do, what effort plays that you make, and all that kind of stuff. And I sort of recognize what these scouts want, because I have these conversations with them. Like, what do you want to see? What are you guys looking for? And it's just quite as simple as, okay, cool, this is what you want, then this is what I'm going to give you.
Exactly.
And then putting yourself in that position to do that.
Like you said, they can see you run the rock. They know you can run the rock. They want to see what else you bring to the team.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? And if they see, oh, okay, he's playing special teams as well. Oh, okay. He's not bad little running back. Not bad coming out into the slot. Okay, the special teams could probably use him here and work, and he could work it. You know what I mean? They're thinking, how much money can I get for this guy? You know what I mean? I want to spend this amount of money, but how much work can I get out of
Yeah,
it?
Hey,
work.
you know as well as I do, minimum wage will do you fine for
Oh,
the first
it's,
2 years.
I'm aware of. So the guys that have gone in just now, like we're still in communication because we were at the London Combines together, and millionaires now. I mean, it's a cheeky. They're not getting all of it, but they've all signed like minimum 2 mil contracts.
Yes, yeah.
And it's like these guys were in Nigeria 3 months ago.
Right. Life changing
money for them, bro.
Life changing opportunities, man.
Nigeria 3 months ago. One of them was Germany 3 months ago, and now they're literally kitting off on Sunday, and I'm watching them on TV, and it's
Why?
like
And it's all to do with not their academic
Yeah.
ability, their athletic ability. And that's the value. You get it? People don't really understand here because we haven't got infrastructure for it. They don't really understand the value of athletic ability. And using those examples are classic examples of value of your athletic ability.
Even the versatility thing, I don't think only 2 out of I want to say 6 guys who've made it actually playing the positions they came in playing. The others have been moved. One of them came in as a tight end. He's now playing D end. One of them came in as a DB. They moved it to safety. One was a linebacker. They moved him to safety. A couple guys, the guys on the line, the O line have stayed the same. But they just man mountains. Those guys. They can't really move them elsewhere.
The guy got D or O. That's as far as they go. You know what I mean?
And that's the beauty of being able to be identified to be picked to go play at that level. And then you've got the coaches in the NFL. They're second to none. So they will take an athlete and mold him into another position because they kind of got the skills, they've got the know-how to do that.
Because that painting is not even dry yet. You know what I mean? That canvas, it's not like it's old canvas. It's a fresh piece of canvas.
Fresh guy.
They've been playing a couple of years. Yeah. They can make that transition. Hold on, this is he could play this. Yeah. But let me see what he looks like over here.
That is a really great example. A clean canvas.
Yeah.
You got guys, and I'm not hating or anything like that, but you've got guys coming out of Power 5 schools that are going into the draft. Their canvas is already painted.
Yeah.
It's probably
dried.
Probably about 75% of it. 75% of it's been painted. The other part is open for the transition to the NFL. Right? When you've got like raw athletes, man, that don't have a canvas, and you can go into an environment where they can just put green here, blue there, and just make you.
And you can adapt to it.
You. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's what they're doing.
Definitely.
But yeah, I think we need to wrap this up, man, because I think we could chop this up all day, man. At the end of the day, you got a game to go and play, man. Listen, you need to go score some touchdowns and get another win for London, man.
I need to make.
Don't forget about special teams now.
I'm on special teams. I'm on special teams.
He said touchdowns. So don't forget special teams. The man said he wants.
Well, he might be on special teams to get touchdowns too.
I'm on special teams.
No, but he might be getting some tackles.
I'm on kickoff. Kickoff. So I'm on there.
Andy, thanks for bringing
appreciate
yourself
that,
here, man.
Especially on a big day like this, you're going there to play and you took the time out to come on here. We appreciate that.
You guys having me.
Sorry about the thing. I should bring the hard wire next time, but yeah. But
yeah,
we appreciate it, man.
Believe in what you guys are doing. I wouldn't be here otherwise. It's like it's given us all an opportunity to learn. And I had a conversation with Coach Hutch on the phone, and he even mentioned something. I learned something from that day where it's like trying to raise awareness, and I was thinking awareness for what? And then he let me know that there's actually wheelchair football, and other types of football out there. I didn't know we had that in the UK, but just from that phone call, I actually learned that okay, cool. There is that, and there is like making it accessible for everyone to be able to enjoy football. To
play football.
And I believe in definitely making everything accessible, for equal opportunities and everything like that. So anyone can
like what you're doing. The whole mental health for the black people, that's, we're going to have a conversation about that down the road, but that's one of the reasons why I play, and that's the reason why I work out the way I work out now, and I had to find a sport that kind of give me that little bond again, to keep me grounded and keep me sane, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, we're trying to make that that awareness as well to the black community. Hold on a minute. We've done this sport, but we still need help once we're finished. Yeah. And no one talks about the finish part. Yeah. Hush said, if you listen to the first podcast, when we hang out those cleats and everyone's done with you, you're like,
You don't know where to go.
you're just, you know what I mean? You have,
A chunk of your life is
yeah,
just
that's gone.
Even if you do have a plan B, right?
Yeah.
I mean, trying to fill that void of
It's
boredom.
huge.
it's different.
And then no one talks about that.
It's
different.
tough. It really is. And I you know,
And we're trying to prep people for that because it is
Yeah.
a different ball game, bro.
Yeah.
It took me ages to find something. I'm like 8 years in now.
Yeah.
I finished in 2003.
Transition.
It took
is
me
not
that
easy
long.
to be able to transition.
You know, I found something in 8 years ago. That's just crazy.
and this bleeds across all sports.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
at that top professional
Yeah.
level, you know, boxing, soccer,
It doesn't matter what it
tennis.
is.
You know, Serena Williams is going to be going through that
Yeah.
pretty soon. You see what I'm saying?
It's gonna be hard.
she's going to need to find something
she's
to
a
fill
goat.
that void.
Yeah.
Exactly.
and it must be even harder for
I was
her.
going to say
Yeah.
it's going to be 10 times worse.
You know what I mean?
This
So
mental
that's
health
what
thing
we're
is
trying
no
to do
joke.
as well. You know, get them prepared for that. Yeah, tell them what it takes to be at your level. You're finding it out now through your own knowledge, but we want to clue them up from
Yeah.
the jump.
Yeah.
And you know, and if they have got a partner, speak down with your, because you need someone beside you. Yes, they're gonna do it anyway, but you don't want to do it like that.
Yeah.
Because I done it and it was not right.
Yeah.
Hush has done it, but he had his partner was cool with it because when he went into Hamburg, he had a conversation and she
Yeah.
was cool with it.
She was cool with it. She
I
had
didn't.
my
I
back
took
at that point.
granted
yeah.
for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all of them kind of things we're trying to prepare that next generation and to be absolute beasts, but at the same time let them know what's ahead of them.
Yeah.
You know. But you know, like Hush says, man, we appreciate that.
Yeah, we
Go
do,
out there
man.
and kill it today.
Let's go.
Yes,
Let's go and
sir.
eat.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
go and eat.
Hey, we got a saying, man. Peace. Let's
Now,
eat.
that's it. Good rice, good meat. Good
Let's
God,
eat.
let's eat.